Jamie Foxx is gonna be in the new Robin Hood movie. That's cool.
Can you hear
Jamie
me,
Foxx
Austin?
is going to be in the Disney Robin Hood movie?
New.
I only through my. We had this same conversation. I can hear you through my ears, not through my headphones.
So they have to tell me if they can hear.
Yeah, like you'll be picked up only on OBS,
Weird.
and then in
Hey,
Discord
Ian.
on my mic.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, buddy.
Hey,
This is a sound test.
alright.
Check 1, 2.
I mean, I could hear you pretty clearly. I don't know if I'd be able to hear you if Austin was talking, though.
Austin, start talking.
Oh, you definitely wouldn't be able to.
Ian.
I know,
Alright.
like I've edited
Ian.
enough of our
Hey, Ian.
videos that I know when
Ian.
you're not audible,
Alright.
and I can tell you that right then you were
Test.
barely audible.
I could hear him and actually understand what he was saying,
Check
but
1,
it
2.
was like,
Drowned
Hmm.
out by me.
yeah, it was like you two were.
Russell
It's,
Sass.
it's like we were at a restaurant and you two were trying to talk to me at the
Sassafras.
same time, and I was getting more and more angry by the second.
It's not that you necessarily are louder. It's just that your voice just sounds like it, Austin.
I'm just closer to the mic. See, like right now I'm further away, so I'm probably less overpowering. Yeah. No.
Oh, did you want confirmation on that?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it sounded legit to me. I wasn't gonna say anything.
It's too late. My confidence is crushed. Crush.
Aw,
Yep.
darn.
It's gone.
Sorry, man. Smash out the window. Darn. Ooh, Austin.
Yes.
Do you want to see? Well, Miles can also see. Do you guys want to meet our newest addition to our family?
Yes.
So the name that's next to him isn't going to be his name. That's just the one they went with, just while they have him. But so here is the most recent picture of Knight Artorias,
The Abyss Walker.
the Abyss Walker.
Oh my god.
Yep, that's him at 4 weeks, and then we should be getting the newest picture of him.
This is his Abyss Walker portrait.
that
That one right
Yeah, the second one. Look at it.
No, the third one. The bottom right.
That's his picture.
The dead on staring to the camera.
That's right.
I don't know, I kinda like the second one.
The
That's
second
pretty
one's
great. the proud
love the
look to the
second
side.
one.
The heroic
I
pose.
think in that one it looks like he's primed to start in a woo.
And he looks really chunky. Like, just
Yeah, very chunky.
the puppy fat is real.
The first one's just like, what is camera?
Second one was like, oh. And that third one was like, I like camera.
I am camera.
No, buddy, that's
I
not.
am better
I
than
am
camera.
Oh no.
Oh god, what have we done?
He is and become camera.
Camera is not sentient, but I am. And I am become sentient camera.
I am become sentient camera.
Yes.
I am friend dog.
Also, I am cute pup. That doesn't change. Although I am
Yeah,
now
no.
also sentient camera.
Does that mean he's a cute camera?
Of course.
Okay. Just
Puppy.
wanted to make sure I was following that.
Yeah. Actually, no, it's just neither a functional camera nor a functional puppy, but a horrible disfiguration of both of them.
But he's still cute.
What have we done?
We've built something both beautiful and so awful.
We didn't stop to think after, we realized we could do it, that if we should do it. Guys, this is a mistake.
You need to change the hours
Marlo,
and
don't
minutes on
ignore me.
your clock now.
You need to change the hours and the minutes on your clock.
Yeah.
Oh.
I wasn't. Yeah, I think that one I was less on board with, but. Well, I mean, I guess if it comes down to if Marlowe's just whispering in my ear, you should kill that person. You know what, buddy? I don't think I'm gonna. Why not? I just fucking don't want to. That's just kind of messed up. Oh, alright.
I think if
Mhm,
Marlo
that's-
whispered that in my ear, I would kill Marlo. I'm sorry, guys, but if your bunny hopped up on my shoulder and whispered that I should kill somebody, that's
Yeah.
it. Like, I'm
Yeah, it's
dusting my
just
hands.
that's where you're done.
Yep.
Like, sorry, man. There's nothing I can do about
Actually, I wouldn't kill him. I would just leave. I would just go far, far away.
Buy a bus ticket.
Well,
God.
Sorry, guys. I
Order
definitely
Mayhem
can't.
Within 20 minutes.
I'm getting like phantom creeps just imagining a cute little bunny on my shoulder, like, oh, what are you doing? And getting him all close to my ear, and then he just whispers with fucking human lip articulation. A horrible sentence.
Murder.
That's the creepiest thing, just imagining a rabbit talk and like using his lips to form the words. Like, okay, that's a fucking demon bunny. Hey everyone, it's a podcast.
The podcast.
With a well-timed ass on my desktop screen right when we started. I'm Austin. I'm joined here with my friend Miles, my other friend Ian, my other friend Haley, aka Mickey,
Julia.
and wait, what?
Julia.
Julia?
Yeah. I'm Julia.
She's making a Drawfee channel reference.
I've made it my commitment that every time we do one of these, I'm gonna introduce myself with someone different.
I thought we had another friend. But I guess that would be Anna.
Me too. My name's Pogo Stick today.
Ah.
I think
My
the first
name's
one we did, I
Dick
introduced
Jerky.
myself as Connor from Cyberlife.
Forgive me for being a terrible host and misintroducing everybody, not knowing anybody's real names.
Yeah, Jesus. Austin. God.
Alright guys, I got some questions for you. Some
What's up,
questions
man?
this time around. And to make up for the last couple of times where the questions were not very existent, now it's going to be super intensive.
All right.
Fuck yeah. I like answering questions.
I want to get down to the nature of like the basic kinds of weapons that you guys prefer in a game. So in a situation where you're in a room and there's a door and no windows or any inclination, doesn't look like a boss level door, just a door in a video game. And in the room with you, you have a whole assortment of different weapons that you can choose from, and you can take two. Well, I guess I'd want like your first choice and your second choice. Of just like general, like you don't know what's on the other side of this door. It could be a boss. It could be like any kind of enemy that you could possibly run into in a video game. What are you gonna like go into the room prepared for? And so I have a list of like potentials. Is that an Anna?
Okay.
Did we hear
What
him?
is it?
No.
Sounded like an Anna.
Oh God. We're having.
Hello?
Yep.
I'm gonna pull up this
There
list.
she is.
That's an Anna.
We went ahead and started, Anna.
Alright. Sorry I'm late.
Hooray.
You're good.
No problem.
So what I'm gonna say, Austin, actually, is what genre are we talking about? Because if all of these dudes have assault rifles, I'm not gonna walk in there
I'm
with a
not
sword or
walking in
shield.
with a battle axe.
How about you don't
So-
even know? Like, this is the first, like, you know nothing about this video game. Like, I came over to your
Well,
house
then
one day. I put in
but
this disk drive into this disk into your PS4, and the starting room is this black room full of weapons.
Alright.
Then why wouldn't any of us choose guns?
Well, I mean, because I like the aesthetic of handheld weapons.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
just
you could have like a
I
battle
don't know.
axe.
Like
I
if
fucking would.
I feel like we should separate it into like we know it's a fantasy game, but we don't know what's on the other side of the door,
Alright.
and this is like a modern like military game, and we don't know what's on the other side of the door.
Austin, I'm gonna answer your question. I'd probably walk in with some kind of handheld. Like, I'm gonna be totally honest. if I have the option, I'm gonna walk in with some kind of long distance weapon, probably either some kind probably some kind of handheld gun, and probably a giant battle axe. Cause fuck, if they're shooting at me, I need something else to shoot with. But I'd also like to hit something. Like, I'm gonna level with all of you. I'm a brute. It's fine. So, but it's the question of, I don't know what's behind there. So, I mean, this gun might be useless, but I guess I'll take it anyway, just in case.
Thank you, Haley. I appreciate you giving me a response and not finding the one thing I hadn't thought of yet, the fucking genre of the game, for which I had to come up with a loophole.
As soon as he asked, I was like, oh, alright. I mean, yes, alright.
But an important piece of this question, though, is like, which is first and second.
I mean, all I'm saying is they're completely different from me. Well, they're not completely different, but if I'm playing like a military-esque shooter game, I have one thing. But if I'm playing a fantasy game with all the medieval weapons, they're completely different.
So hold on.
Yeah.
If I don't know what's on the other side, I still know it's an enemy, correct? I know that I'm.
Yes. You
So
know,
it
there's
might
some
be
walk
a good
in-
guy on the other side.
But if it's not an enemy, then you're just not going to attack
It's
them.
just
so
a
it doesn't
door,
matter.
and I need to know that like there could be a threat. So
Yeah,
what
you're
am
just
I
going to
carrying
prepare
through that
yourself.
door?
Why would you not prepare
Yeah.
yourself? But you can only take two. If there's
It's
not a threat, then you just want to
four
attack them. That's
different
fine.
types of Sonic on the other side of the door.
See, because at that point I'm starting to be with Ian, whereas like if I'm normally I'd travel lightweight and not want to have like a giant battle axe on my back if I'm going through a door that might have
that's
fucking
just your
children
personal choice.
or like innocent people just shopping or doing something, right?
That's a good point.
But if I'm in a compound where I know there's gonna be opposing agents trying to fuck me up, then like I'm gonna have a silenced fucking like, you know.
For sure. Haley, do you have a point now that I haven't thought of? Do you have an excellent counterpoint to raise?
No, like if you just hand me the controller and put me into this situation, I might die on the other side of this because I didn't choose good weapons. But my first inclination, it's going to be some kind of handheld, just fucking medieval behemoth of a weapon. And it's also probably going to be some kind of lightweight handheld, just in case that, oh yeah, alright, these people also have guns. So I'm going to stick to my guns. Of course, for different genres, like, it's going to be different. Like Assassin's Creed, you wouldn't bring the same weapon set from Assassin's Creed into Modern Warfare 2. But I mean, if I don't have any idea on what kind of game this is going to be, it's probably going to be what I choose. It might not be correct, and I might die once I go through this door. But at least from then, maybe I might have a better idea on what suits better. But that'd be what I picked just offhand. If I had nothing, if I had no other further information to go off of, it's just gonna be those two things. And I love it. I'd just fucking go in swinging this goofy battle axe at I don't even know what, like an alligator or something.
So even if it was an ally, you would attack them immediately? Just you run in swinging? Just ready to kill?
If I know it's an ally, I wouldn't. But I mean, I don't know what's behind there. I'm going to assume anything that comes at me is not going to be friendly.
It's an ally gator.
Hey there, man. Oh, you shot me. You fucking don't act like you were surprised. You didn't say anything. You just came up to me, fucking mouth open. I was scared.
What the fuck am I looking at?
So if it was a fantasy game, I would come through with a sword and shield, and probably a ranged longbow. And if it was a military game, I would probably go in with a silent sniper and a silenced pistol. Just like I'm doing an MGS5 right now.
Okay,
Now, wait,
no,
did you
hold on.
actually have
I'm
your
sorry, I have to
suppressor on,
slow
though?
down. Like, this whole conversation has gotten way more complicated than I intended. So I need to reevaluate the rules here. Shooter, first of all.
Okay.
So just like if we're dealing with like a Halo type setting, where the weapons that I wrote down were rockets, sniper, shotgun, pistol, like revolver, just like heavier pistol, LMG, grenade launcher, assault rifle, precision assault rifle. So the difference there being something like a SCAR or an M4 compared to like an M16 or an FAL. Flamethrower, and then just different kinds of explosives. Like you could have C4, proxy mines, or grenades. So, and then like a melee weapon as well. Like you could have, if it was a Halo type setting, a sword or a grav hammer, or I don't know, like chainsaw or just some like battle axe, anything along those range. Like if it's a shooter setting and you're gonna choose melee weapon, then like I say whatever the fuck you want, short of like a 12-foot stabby pull. So with those rules in a shooter, because I want to come back to the fantasy, because I think I don't accept your answer because I think it's too many things. You said sword and shield and longbow. I would say sword and shield are your two things, and you have to stop there. So I want to make a separate question for fantasy stuff, but just for shooter genre, what would you guys choose?
Then it would be a silenced sniper and a silenced handgun.
Dope.
It'd probably, if in terms of a shooter, it'd probably honestly be like a SCAR. And I want to say revolver because I always want to use a revolver and I don't because I just don't have that kind of patience.
Why do you guys both gravitate towards like handguns in these situations? That surprises me. Like every
it's weird
combination you've given.
Ideally, I'd like to use a hand. Like I would never use a pistol ever. I'd like to because I mean I think they're more practical. But
definitely.
I never would. It's an ideal, in all honesty. Like I know realistically I probably wouldn't. I'd like to tell you I'd like to go in with a SCAR and just a revolver and fuck shit up. I probably wouldn't. I'd probably grab a sniper and be terrible at it because that's just usually how I go. Like, but I want to tell you that I do the fucking cool like John Wayne thing, and when I run out of bullets in my SCAR, I just fucking 6-gun everything. But
wait, so what's the question exactly?
Yeah, we're still in a video game.
This has gotten so complicated at this point. That's the important point though, Ian, that I wanted to raise too, is that like as practical as a handgun would be, like I feel in a normal apocalypse situation, I might choose a handgun just because it's tiny and concealable. But like this is a video game. Like I don't know what advantage concealing my weapon's gonna give me. Like I probably want to just take like a long precision rifle and like a sniper rifle. I'm surprised that Ian, you would say sniper rifle and pistol.
The reason I want a pistol is because if a sniper rifle is going to be, I'm only allowed 2, and if sniper rifle is going to be my primary fire, sniper rifle is my primary fire. There's a lot of situations that a sniper isn't necessarily appropriate in, which a handgun takes care of really nicely, only because it doesn't have the bullet grouping on a pistol is a lot better than any sort of rifle, assault rifle that you can get, or like even a precision rifle. And it's usually quicker. It's at least in video games, it's quicker to draw out a pistol than it is to draw an assault rifle or a precision rifle.
I can see that.
That's what Call of Duty tried to teach you. Just fucking switch to your pistol. I don't want to. Fuck your pistol. I don't want it. Yeah.
And this, I also like the aesthetic of just using a silenced pistol. Yes, just the aesthetic of it. It's nice.
Absolutely.
That's also why I choose a sniper rifle. The aesthetic of a sniper rifle is also nice. So even if it made a silenced sniper rifle. Even if it made the game more difficult for me, I would still do it just because I like the style and I like the feel of it. I wouldn't do anything else because I don't necessarily like to do anything else.
Interesting. That's not what
basically the way. Basically, the way I like to do it is I like to stealth until I eventually fuck up, and then I go super loud.
Mm-hmm. And a pistol is very nice for that. Like in a game like Crisis, I remember myself gradually gravitating towards pistols, like again and again, just because I like that feel of sneaking around with a pistol, getting the occasional headshot when I needed to, just that one semi-automatic round.
That is what I'm doing in MGS5 right now.
Ooh.
Well, but we'll get to that in the "What have you played this week" section.
Indeed. Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad I asked. I'm not getting answers I expected. Haley, would your answer would you still stick to pistol and like melee weapon, given that this is a shooter setting?
No, not at all. I'd switch to precision assault and probably a sniper.
Yeah, there you go. See, that's just kind of the thing I was thinking.
Yeah, and it's only because, like I said, I would like to tell you realistically, I'd like to go in with an assault rifle, a pistol, because it probably is just a better combination. But I just hate using a pistol in any game ever. I try really hard to just stick to the pistol, and I don't. I hate it. I don't like using it. I don't like sneaking around. I like to get my shit done and move on. Like there's no. It's just, I hate it. I hate anything that has to do with a pistol. I don't like there's better weapons, but yeah.
I think I'd go.
Can't wait for you to try Devil May Cry.
I would go with pistol.
No, but seriously, I think I'd do a pistol with a silencer, extended mag with a shotgun.
Extended mag. You're just pulling out modifications I didn't even answer. I didn't even know existed.
Yeah, there's an
It's like,
extended
no,
mag
you can't
only,
do that.
and a red
Hold
dot.
on.
No, but shotgun for if things get messy. But I think you could do a lot of damage with like a silencer and tiptoes.
Everybody's adding silencers. That's great.
Yeah.
Silent shotgun.
A silenced shotgun. The only silenced shotgun that I've seen is in anything really. I haven't seen any silenced shotguns in most games, but in one movie there was a silenced shotgun, and that was No Country for Old Men. And let me tell you, a silenced shotgun is fucking terrifying.
I thought that was like an air gun. Didn't he have an air gun?
He had an air gun as well.
Okay. Yeah, I had a silenced, or I have a silenced, like, Spas 12 in Conviction, but that and Call of Duty are the only times I've ever seen, like, silenced shotguns. And in real life, whenever they're, like, the only images of real-life silenced shotguns that I've seen have just ridiculously huge silencers.
They're really big.
Yeah.
The suppressors are like the size of the gun. And they have to be.
Yeah, there we go, like that. Like, what the fuck? This is a Mossberg 500 with like the size of the gun. There you go.
I mean, they have to be. Shotguns are very powerful.
See that barrel sticking out of
Yeah,
like
man. Dude, I can see you. No,
to shoot you, and you're like, damn it. Like, shit.
Seriously.
Now it's in like.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised Austin didn't shoot shotgun.
I haven't chosen yet. Good God.
Oh, you said sniper rifle and precision rifle.
I said those were. Oh yeah, I guess I made it seem like that's what I would choose. But they were respectable choices. They were ones I offered up. No, I would go for like precision rifle and shotgun, most likely. That's typically like the best pair that I go towards, which is not much different than what you said.
So I've actually considered your question a little bit more, Austin. I think I'd like to revise my answer. I'd still go with a precision assault rifle, but I think I'd actually switch from a sniper rifle to probably a combat knife. If I'm gonna be totally honest.
That'd be good.
Yeah, you don't know if the next room is a tiny hallway with a fucking.
Yeah. The only reason I say that is because in a situation where if I have no choice but to sneak around, I mean, as long as I do my job right, and if I can get right behind you, I can just stab you and you're dead, and I don't waste any bullets. I just use a little bit of extra manpower.
That is good.
Sneaky.
What about Anna?
Mop bucket. Mop and bucket.
Mop and bucket.
All right.
I'm just a
A
janitor.
silent mop and bucket. Mop and
Bucket.
bucket.
Mock and bucket. All right. I love it.
Bopping
You
Muppets.
just walk through the door and you're the janitor and you're like, don't mind me, and you just get to your objective without alerting anyone because you're the janitor.
Yeah. It's like the
I don't
It's like-
need a gun. I just need
Yeah,
mop
man.
and bucket.
Like
Yeah,
that's the
suspects
xenomorph
the
and
janitor.
everybody.
Nobody ever expects the janitor.
Never. I like how we're all waiting for Anna to actually answer the question now.
I mean,
No, now
I
I'm
feel
just
like her
thinking
answer
about
was,
what
like,
other, like-
satisfactory. I don't know what you're talking about.
Like you could just drive out with a forklift.
Pretty much is my answer.
I mean,
Mop and
hey man,
bucket.
I just need you
In
to come
real
to the
life,
janitor
I'm
closet
most
real quick.
comfortable behind my 357 Magnum. I can group I can group all 6 shots in like the size of a quarter.
That's good, Anna. That's real good.
But
Yeah, man.
what would I take
Everybody's
into a
gravitating
situation?
towards the
Probably
pistols.
just a mop and bucket.
Mop and bucket. Bopping with the Muppets. Bring a stereo system. Start instead of bebop, bop with the Muppets. Yeah, I'll accept that answer. Who needs C4 or a rocket launcher when you can just bring a mop and a bucket?
Yeah, man. I can guarantee you can probably make a bomb out of the chemicals in my janitor closet. Go fuck yourself.
Nobody ever answers with like the explosive answer.
Explosive.
I was kind of
was
like
thinking
code
about
my
a
friends
grenade
for this
launcher.
question,
Yeah, rocket launchers or grenade launchers or something like that.
but nobody ever says it. Like we always think it'd be fun to do that, but nobody ever commits to that.
It's because
Yeah,
that's
I
what
mean-
it is. It's just fun. It's not practical.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like, the only time you would use one is, like, if I have to take down some fucking heavy artillery. Like, I mean, I can
Which
imagine
could be behind that door. We don't know.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
Austin
you're right.
only gave us
If I
2,
walk, I
so
could walk behind the door, and I could get out into a desert area, and there's a fucking, like, there's a helicopter, and I have to kill him. But, like, dude, I
But like,
don't
dude,
feel like the odds, I don't feel like the odds of a helicopter being behind the door are high, but maybe.
yeah, I don't know. But we were only given 2, so took the 2 most practical things that I could think of that I would want to use. And if I don't have anything to deal with it, I guess I'm finding a way. Because once I leave that door and there are shooters with other weapons, I'm using their other weapons if I need to.
You know what's great about a mop
They're
and bucket?
only
You never run
carrying
out of
giant
ammo.
carrots.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
Giant
Blunts and
handheld
Bongs,
carrots.
why are you sending me a picture of yourself? What? I don't know who you are. Go away. Sorry, I'm sure all of you didn't just need to hear that I got a message from a Facebook page called Blunts and Bongs. I don't really know what that was about. What the fuck?
that's what you have to fight on the other side of the door. A bunch of notifications.
Blunts and bongs.
Yep.
I don't understand. I don't even follow this page. Why did you? It just sent me this picture. I'm just fucking. All right, hold on. I don't
All
know
right.
who you
In
are.
all seriousness, I think everybody's given their answer.
Mhm.
What's everybody's first choice though? If you only gotta bring one thing, like I would bring a shotgun.
One thing,
Yeah.
probably a pistol. I love sniper
Why the
rifles, but I
pistol?
can get by with just a pistol.
Everybody fucking loves the pistol. I am so
I hate the
surprised that
pistol.
everybody's going towards
Austin,
pistol.
we just had this conversation.
Wait, so the answer is I can only have one thing now?
Yeah, if you only have one thing.
Katana.
Damn. Actually, I might go like SMG if I can only have one thing. 'Cause I feel like that has good both mid-range and close range.
I would crouching tiger katana that shit.
Yeah.
They wouldn't see anything coming, then their legs would get chopped down.
Well, then I guess you win. Good.
Ew.
At least I did with myself.
Ugh.
How great would it be if all 5 of us chose Desert Eagle? That was our number one. We're just gonna walk in with
Absolutely
5
not.
deagles.
I wouldn't choose a desert eagle.
Golden deagles.
I'd rather you shoot me with a desert eagle before I'd pick one.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. But
Fuck.
for comic effect, it'd be pretty great.
It'd be funny, yeah. But if I had a choice of pistol, it wouldn't be a desert eagle.
Yeah. Unless it was a silenced deagle somehow. Unbreak
Like-
the sound barrier.
Crouching tiger, discreet
Hidden,
eagle.
silent
I don't know.
desert eagle.
Yeah, there you go.
Fair.
Silenced eagle is what I was trying to remember.
Well, since you kind of added this like caveat, no, not caveat, it's like sub question earlier. I want to come back to it. What like fantasy weapons would you guys pick?
So here's my thing. You mentioned earlier that sword and shield would be it. Because that's technically 2 items.
Yeah, like
Yes.
I don't want like us walking in like Spartans and we're equipped with like shields and daggers and spears. It's like you got like 1 or 2 things.
So I always, at least when it comes to video games, I always linked together swords and shields being like, this is your sword and board build. Like, you have your shield, which is probably just going to be a medium shield and a long sword or a short sword or whatever. I always saw those as the same thing. Most Japanese games categorize them as the same thing as well.
Yeah,
Like
I guess not.
they never have like sword and then shield, except like in Dark Souls and whatnot. But most Japanese games are just like, it's a sword and shield. Like
Okay.
that's just one thing.
I can revise that. Like if it's now that I think more about this, if it's not an overpowered sword, if it's just a normal little like level 2 hero sword from Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, like
whatever.
if it was any weapon in the world, then I would super go with big ass great sword and fuck off tower shield every day of the week. But
Yeah.
I'm assuming that you're popping this. You're popping this game into the system. It's the beginning of the game. You can choose any weapons. I don't think they'll be there. You'll have to find those later.
Yeah, you can choose a
So I'm
wooden
saying,
sword
like-
or the master sword. They're both
Yeah.
available.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say like long sword and medium shield with a longbow.
Okay. Beans.
Well, thank you for listening to the podcast.
What's the question?
Remember,
Fantasy weapons.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Smash that like button.
Smash
and
that
as
like
always,
button.
we're sorry.
And as always, we're sorry.
Follow me on Yahoo.
Ooh.
Follow me on AOL.
On AOL.
Yeah, you guys can message me on AIM.
Oof.
I mean, honestly, we don't even need to
You can find
get
the
through
rest
this
of our
whole.
content on Vine. Oh wait.
My answer would still be a battle axe, honestly.
Battle X
Okay,
always.
it's a battle axe.
Gravity hammer.
No, I've told Ian that if I were in a situation where I had the ability to learn how to properly wield a battle axe and just fucking use it all the time, I super would.
You should just buy a battle axe and learn how to use it.
I mean,
Sure, there'll be a few holes in the walls and.
yeah, but I can't. I mean, I don't know the first thing about how to use one, so I'd have to find someone to teach me.
Nonsense. You
That's
just teach yourself.
That's kind of where I hit the roadblock. I don't know a lot of people in this state who know how to just fucking whip around. A
I
battle
can
axe.
imagine there was
Just smash
more
old
here
stuff.
than there was in Spokane.
I'm sure there's more people here who know how to use it. I mean, the Ren Fair here is fucking massive. Don't talk to me.
Yeah, I
It's
want
like-
that real bad.
But yeah, I would just two-hand battle axe. Absolutely. Now, it's weird because I go back and forth on these two weapons. I'll either dual wield daggers or I'll battle axe. I'm not sure. I'm leaning toward battle axe on this one, but it's almost split down the middle how often I use one or the other, and they're drastically different weapons. But like, I either use one or the other, and in this situation, I'm gonna call it and say I'm gonna use the battle axe.
I feel like I would go for like dagger and crossbow.
You're
But
dead.
now that now that we've accepted sword and shield as an option, then I feel like dagger and buckler is not far from that. So I'd rather go like dagger,
definitely
buckler,
not. I
crossbow.
I feel like any weapon where you could have an open hand, you would want
like
something
dual
else.
wielding. Yeah, dual wielding daggers. I think
That's
counts as
one.
one too.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
So you could do both. You could do both, Bevel, because it was two.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna dual wield. No, it's gonna be a two-handed battle axe or it's gonna be dual wield daggers. And in this situation, I'm calling it on the battle axe.
Well, but we're cool with like two-handed battle axe plus something else though. I think that's what we're saying, right?
So I could.
Yeah, we're saying you could have both. You could You can do two-handed battle axe and then also have dual wield daggers.
Shit. All right.
What?
That's just the ultimate OP. All right.
Yeah.
I guess I can get
we're saying that like if there's something that has an available offhand, that counts. That those two things can be together.
All right, I understand. Well, all right, I guess
they count as one. So dual wielding daggers is one, sword and shield is one, dagger and buckler is one.
We got my ultimate build then. We're good.
Dagger and duckler.
Dagger and buckler. Bagger and duckler.
Yes.
What about Miles?
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd want to be a ranged character. So I like the idea of having. I'd rather be
crossbow, longbow.
Well, I'd rather be more of a short bow, like Mongol, like quick with the arrows, than a longbow, like ranged. I like the idea of range, but I like the idea of being in your face still. So either like a crossbow or a short bow. And then if I could do two things, I'd want like a talisman of sorts for minor spells. If I could like.
Oh shit! There's magic.
Yeah,
that's
what I was
going to ask.
Yeah, it's a fantasy game.
Yeah, I didn't think of it.
Yeah, either for teleportation, if that's not minor enough, then minor healing. But I like that.
Teleportation is limited to 10 yards.
10 yards. See, I love that. That's perfect. Just something minor to like, be a little wild card with my ranged. I like that.
10 solar systems.
Yeah.
Must
it
stay
has
within
to be in
10
the Milky
solar
Way.
systems. Yes.
Yeah, no, not within. It has to be 10 solar systems.
All right.
The distance can only be 10 solar systems.
Plus or minus one multiverse.
Yeah. What about Anna? I think I already know what Anna's gonna do.
Wait, then stop. Then what's your prediction before she even says? Put your money where your mouth is. What do you think she's gonna do?
She's going to do some sort of catalyst for magic casting, dark magic casting.
That's specific.
I was gonna ask if magic is the thing.
Yeah, so she's gonna do some sort of catalyst for dark magic casting, which is gonna be a staff, probably. Staves are two-handed. So.
Is it gonna have engravings on it? Like you're getting.
No,
very
I'm not getting into that. But and then, her other one is going to be a secondary magic, whether it be a talisman for, like miracle-based stuff or like a pyromancy thing. Her main one's going to be a dark magic thing, and the other one's going to be something that harmonizes with it. Some sort of magic that harmonizes with it as well.
Double
so
or the ability to throw up a boulder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's my prediction.
Pretty soon we're just going to be, I am Superman. I choose to be Superman. That's the weapon that I picked. Everything that's Superman.
That's my fantasy character. I'm Superman.
I picked laser eyes and
invincibility.
Yes.
One resource that can take me down. I choose that.
I have a nuke cannon and I'm best friends with the xenomorphs.
That's right.
How close was
man.
It would be kind of cool if you could like Jekyll and Hyde the xenomorph thing.
Yes. I hope you guys know that's what's on the other side of this door, of the door. The whole time, it's just a bunch of queen forms,
Oh my god.
just like a
Fuck.
9, ready to go.
Just 9.
Instant slaughter. Where you just like start to crack open the door and they just come flooding in.
Yeah, even our gun choices would not prepare us for that.
Yeah.
Nothing prepares us for 9 queen morphs.
Maybe we all should have had grenade launchers then. This might have been the
Even
situation.
grenade launchers wouldn't do anything.
We all just
I
have
mean,
pistols.
Oh
Everybody
my
chose pistols.
we all just have Desert Eagles. That's it. That's all we got.
You
Yes.
see, I have a mop bucket full of bleach.
I mean, you might be okay, but I mean, you still might be dead after the first couple try to come after you.
If they ever turn invisible, then we'll have that area covered. We can just splash them with like paint from your mop bucket.
Yeah.
You have paint
Splash.
too, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But
of
yeah,
course it does.
my bucket just has all of the liquids.
Yeah. It is different
Newtonic
compartments,
and
you know?
non-Newtonic.
It has anti-acid breath. Acid breath so hot that it actually melts through the aliens themselves. Or acid spit.
See, I can catch their blood in the bucket and throw it back at them.
There you go. See? We figured it out.
Wow, you actually have the most effective weapon.
the mop and bucket. Alright, Anna, how close was I with my fantasy?
I wasn't gonna get that specific with the magic, but I was definitely gonna go with a magic build. Like super hardcore magic. I want to be able to like bend galaxies to my will. I guess dark magic would be where it would be at.
Double magic.
And then probably a healing
Yeah.
catalyst.
Wow. You indeed called it. How
I
much did he
played
pay
lots
you?
of games with Anna.
It's true.
Fair enough. I can't deny that.
Alright. Well, you said you had more questions.
Yeah, man.
I did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you said like the last couple weeks have been no questions. Now I have onslaught of questions.
No. That was just like a super intensive question to make up for the,
Oh,
the
gotcha.
lack of questions. But yeah,
And that it was.
thank you for humoring me. Now I know how to defeat all of you. I know how to counter you.
Can't counter the mop bucket.
Yeah, man. You got nothing.
That's
Anna's
true.
still gonna fuck you up.
If there's one thing we've learned in all this is that you can't counter the mop and bucket.
So, do you want to move on to what's happening in the fucking gaming world now?
Sure.
Yeah.
Austin
No.
doesn't
Sure.
sound satisfied. He's like, yeah, whatever. Alright.
Fuck that. Next
Oh,
topic.
Yeah, I want to
Let's
talk
pick
about
something
Xenomorph
else.
Queen, but no.
Yeah, we're good. Let's go to the next one. So my piece of news is, Toby Fox released a sort of sequel, prequel thing to Undertale called Deltarune.
I heard about
I
this.
played a little bit of that last night.
Yeah,
How was
my
it?
little brother Eric told me about that last night too.
It's free.
Delta
It's
what?
free. Deltarune. It is an anagram of Undertale.
Delta Rune?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know anything.
So
and
you
I
may
don't
be-
really want to know anything, so I'm gonna leave it at that. All I know is you can be in a party instead of just being one person.
What?
Huh. Okay.
Oh, and my boss Liz told me one thing about it too. There's a little billboard you go up to that says anime review. Would you like to read? And it says, and the options are yes and no, 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 no.
Is there like a release date?
It's
Released.
released. It's free right
Oh.
now.
Okay. For sure. Where do you get it?
Just type in Deltarune, I'm sure you can find it.
Steam, probably, Austin, is
Yeah,
the
probably
answer I'm sure you were
Steam.
looking
It's
for.
just a demo. There's nothing. It's not completed yet. But Toby Fox basically just said, "Hey, I'm trying something out. I'm gonna release it. Let me know what you think." And everyone's fucking loving it right now.
So it's not a released thing. It's still a demo.
It
Yeah.
is a released thing. This demo is definitely released.
When is the full game
For
going
sure.
to release?
No one knows. He said this is something he was doing. Test it out. Give him feedback. There is no actual release date for the full game, if it's even going to be called Deltarune.
It kind of feels
Coco.
like a full game.
Stop
I don't know.
eating
It might
all
just
the
end
food.
abruptly though.
Don't say
Nothing.
that.
Where did you get it, Anna? Where'd you download this mysterious thing?
I found it on a website.
That's helpful.
God,
I don't know. My
everyone
computer's
is
off
just
right now.
so full of good advice today.
I mean, I guess that's not Steam, which is where I was looking, so that tells me that much. How to download Deltarune.
What if it's no longer available?
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Sounds
that
like
sounds
something
like some,
Toby Fox would do.
Yeah, that sounds like some shit he would pull though. Like, let's be real. Coco, why do you destroy the things you love?
I ask that to P-Bun all the time. Come on, computer, wake up.
Austin either figured it out or is downloading a virus.
I guess we'll know shortly.
Or I'm downloading a winning lottery ticket.
Congratulations, you win!
Yay! Just what I wanted.
Just press OK.
You just have
Yes.
to enter in your social security number.
You got Trojan.
It's not a virus, I promise. Just download it already.
You got blackmail. You expect everything that will happen. Yep, sounds good. I sure will. I accept
Excellent.
everything that'll happen from now on. Yeah.
Oh, this sounds like Toby Fox.
Yep. It sounds very familiar.
Hey, Coco, stop it. Yeah, you. Get over here. You cute little buddy. Come here. Coco.
I now have the thing.
P-Bun's
Oh, that's a
in the
sound.
left.
Okay. Those are sounds. I don't need to have that. No, thank you. Okay. Oh no, bye. That
After
was
2
loud
years
and
have passed,
creepy.
my computer finally turned on.
Nice.
Cool. All right.
That's my bit of news. I had lots because lots happened in these last 3 weeks. Like oh, by the way, Austin and Miles, I don't know if you know this already. I officially work at GameStop.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
My first
We
day
get
of work was the
insider
Red Dead
tips.
2. Yeah, my first day of work was the Red Dead 2 release.
Wow.
Oh,
that's awesome.
damn. Okay. I thought you worked earlier than that. Yeah, I remember you telling me this a few days ago. I'd be more blown away. Had this
And I'm
happen the
also
first time.
working the Fallout 76 release.
Tight.
Is it like that much more busy on those days?
Oh yeah.
Huh.
We had 108 physical like we had 108 people come in
Thank you.
on
but
the Red Dead 2 release to reserve a physical copy for that day, and then came back at 9 o'clock when the game pre-released. Plus an additional about 50 to 60 who didn't pre-reserve a physical copy, and just wanted to get a pre-order copy after everyone with the reserved ones got theirs.
I'll be interested to see how that compares to a game that I would expect less turnout for, like Fallout 76. That was still
Fallout
be a
76
popular game,
might be more. Fallout 76 might be. We don't know at this point.
Okay. Cool.
But I will definitely let you know how the knights compared to each other.
What do you do there? Do you mainly just like run checkout, or like?
Yeah, I run checkout. I ask people. I like do the thing like, hey, can I help you find anything? And they let me know, and let's see if I can find it. I answer the phone when people call. I walk around and basically make the store look super nice. Because our GameStop is one of the nicer ones. During busier days, I'll go out there with an iPad and ask people what they want, what they're in line for, see if we have it in stock, and if we do have it in stock, I'll go ahead and like go back behind the counter and get the games all ready to go, so people don't have to look for them. They can just, if they're pre-owned games, I can just have them out and they can be ready, so they can just check them out quickly, and we can get everyone out as fast as we can.
Cool beans.
But I do have a PS4 release date for the next year, the estimated release dates for a bunch of games next year. I can read it. I could read that off if you so desire.
Diva, like, could you send that to the chat as well?
I was gonna say it's a big list.
No, it's a physical piece of paper.
Okay. Yeah, at some point you should like take a picture and send it to us as well.
All right, I'll see if I can get the lighting good enough to take a picture. I mean, this is stuff you can literally go into You can go into any GameStop and be like, "Hey, can I get a release list for PS4?" And they'll just give it to you.
Okay, I thought that was like employee only stuff.
No, you can. It's cool. You can go into a GameStop and just be like, "Hey, can I get a release date for this release list for this console?" And they'll be like, "Yep," and they can just print it out and give it to you.
How far into the future does it go? Like holiday 2019?
The latest date here is so nothing for the second half of 2019 is for sure. The latest official date we have on here is June 30th, 2019. Everything after that all is listed as December 31st, 2019. But those are games that are slated to release in 2019, but the release date hasn't been actually released yet.
Should read off some of the titles, like some of the big ones at least.
Yeah, let's see. We got Hitman 2 is coming out the 9th.
Wait, the 9th?
Yeah.
Like of November?
Oh, sorry, the 13th. It's coming out. It's officially coming out the 13th, but there are 2 special editions that are available to pre-order on the 9th.
This month?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
Fallout 76 is coming out the 14th. Battlefield 5. Hold on. Battlefield 5 is coming out the 20th. These are just for PS4, by the way.
It's chilly.
Darksiders 3 is coming out the 27th.
A lot of those are going to be like cross-platform though.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Just Cause 4 is releasing the 4th of December. Walking Dead final season is the 31st of December. Resident Evil 2 Remake is coming out the 25th of January. Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out the 29th of January. Anthem is coming out the 22nd of February.
We all want Anthem to be good.
Devil May
It
Cry.
won't.
Devil May Cry 5 is coming out the 3rd of March. Death's Gambit's coming out the 19th of March. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice is coming out the 22nd of March. Rage 2 is coming out the 31st of May. And that's it. Those are the most notable ones. Those were some of the about 100 games I have.
Who's
Wait,
making
really?
the Walking Dead final season?
It's Telltale. Remember, Telltale's still a studio, but they're just a small skeleton team now.
Yeah.
Was it a different series that was like there was talks about other developers stepping in to help out them? Am I getting that mixed up with something
Nope.
else?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. There was something that was going around that there was talk about how for the final season of The Walking Dead, there was going to be another development team that took over the final season.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, and that's what that is.
I haven't heard much more than, yeah, it's been talked about. And that's about all I know. But yes, Austin, there was something going around. I don't know what development team it was, or even necessarily how serious the discussion was, but
So
Kinda
yeah,
upsetting that Telltale has to die.
Yeah.
I mean,
it sucks, but they brought it upon themselves.
No, they need to die. It just sucks.
But it's just unfortunate.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen that other Walking Dead game?
Nah, I don't really care about The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead lost my interest after season 2.
Yeah, come here.
But like, yeah, I mean, I think everybody I know feels the same way about them. But 1973, that's when I was born. There's just another game though with like by Overkill. Have you seen the trailers for this or anything for this?
Nope.
It looks
haven't
looks
heard
much
anything
better than
about
anything
that.
I've seen.
That's good. All right, who's next with the news?
So something that I am proud to finally report is that I sent you guys a link to one of the trailers that I'll be watching in the background while I'm saying this.
Okay.
The Xbox free games for November are finally, like for the first time that I can ever recall, going to be better than the PlayStation Plus free games. Like,
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Yakuza Kiwami is a pretty good one.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yakuza's gonna be a hard one to beat.
see, I guess I just never really got much into the Yakuza series. I've only ever heard things about it, so yeah.
So I don't know. The reason why November is great is because everything that was free in October is still free, plus Yakuza Kiwami and plus Bulletstorm. I meant about Bulletstorm, but Yakuza Kiwami is a good one. That's a real good one.
Wait, do they always keep the last month games, or are they just doing that
Nope.
for November?
This is the first time.
Huh. Okay. It's like they knew that their lineup that I was gonna say this, and they're like, well.
Well, we will be the consumer will be the judge of that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm in no hurry to play any of the PlayStation games, but I'm stoked that they are releasing Battlefield 1 for the Xbox.
Damn, that is pretty good.
Yeah, so I never got a chance to play that, but heard a lot about it, so seems like it might be decent. Whereas, so there's only Yakuza Kiwami Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition, Jackbox, basically 2, I guess. Arcado, which I've never heard of before, or Arcado. Have you guys ever heard of that game? The Arcado
Nope.
series?
Arcado.
Alright.
That sounds
Roundabout
familiar.
and Burly
Yeah.
Men at Sea. So just a bunch of weird. That's like the usual Xbox lineup. Is a bunch of games I haven't heard of before, and like Jackbox will be thrown in there.
Milo, what are you doing?
Whereas now on Xbox, there's Assassin's Creed 1 as well, and Dante's Inferno, and another game I haven't heard of called Race the Sun.
Race the Sun was pretty fun.
Was it? I like Dante's Inferno. That was a fun game.
Matt won't ever shut up about Dante's Inferno. If you watch Super Best Friend's God of War playthrough, he mentions it like 50 times.
It's a good game.
I know nothing
Also,
about
why
it.
are your ears so small?
It follows the whole Dante's, like, do you know about the story Dante Alighieri's Inferno?
Not really.
It was this.
So basically, it's what is it? A man's wife was damned to hell, so he ventures into the 7 levels of hell to retrieve her soul.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go into the actual like source material. Alright. Which is just this dude, this playwright dies, and he gets a tour of hell, and that's that.
Yeah, that's
It's a
the
poem, and the poem is fucking massive.
yeah, it's
Yeah, the
huge.
poem's huge.
But Dante's, when you see it, so it's actually Dante Alighieri's Inferno. That's what the poem's called.
Yeah.
But whenever you see just Dante's Inferno, it usually follows the same storyline of man's wife damned to hell. He goes to hell to retrieve her soul. And
Yeah.
their depictions of hell are very. So there's an animated movie called Dante's Inferno, and it's kind of
That
like the
movie was
game.
fucking weird.
It was really weird, but their depictions of hell were so hauntingly like familiar and nostalgic for some reason. The reason it was really weird for me is because I felt like I've seen it before without actually remembering it before. And one of my favorite points of design about the whole thing is their depiction of the deepest layer of hell where Satan resides isn't fire, isn't brimstone, it's just ice.
Yeah.
It's just ice. Everything is iced over.
Yeah, which in the original poem, that's one of the big points too, that the lowest circle of hell where like Lucifer is not, it's not hot at all. It's just this icy, just fucking hell fortress.
Yeah. And every one of the layers of hell is based off of a different cardinal sin. So like the first level is just purgatory, where not much happens, but then you get into like, I don't remember which one was the first one, but it was based off of severity of the sins. And there's one sin that's like, I think it's gluttony, and gluttony is probably the most powerful of them all, because every other sin is just another form of gluttony.
And it was like a weird form of daddy issues.
Yeah, real weird. Yeah, it was really weird. But like, if you think about it, wrath is just gluttonous rage, and envy is just lust is just gluttonous desire, and envy is just gluttonous want. Pride is just like, it's all of the sins can all be tied back to gluttony. So I don't know. It's a different way of looking upon the Judo Christianity depiction of hell and whatnot. It's different from what you might think.
The really cool part in the animated video is each level has a different style of artwork.
Yeah, it does. It's really cool.
So it starts off like this super intense anime, and then it gets like a lower budget type of anime, and then it's watercolors.
Yeah, it's cool.
So yeah.
So have each of you guys played this game before?
The game?
Yeah,
I've played a little bit of it.
I played through the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm watching gameplay for
Yeah.
the first time.
It's
Yeah,
really cool.
I like Anna have only played a little bit of it. A demo in a GameStop, I think.
I spent an entire night with a buddy of mine and we played through it. It was fun. Then we played Fear.
Sounds like a fucked up buddy of yours.
No, she was super cool.
That's like almost makes it worse that it was a girl. It's like, yeah, she just only plays these fucked up games.
I mean,
I feel like she had
you're
more
one to
than
talk,
those games,
Mr.
but
Agony and Fear and
Limbo.
Limbo.
I know not what you speak of.
You can stand there and act all like innocent all you want.
I only play games like Pokemon and Viva Pinata. That's my taste.
You're a liar. You're a
Ukulele.
liar because I've seen you play Dark Souls.
I'll play the occasional like Goat Simulator.
Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm.
A game I've never played
I
before.
think Goat Simulator is more fucked up than Fear.
How so?
There's a lot of subtext and implication in Goat Simulator that makes it a little fucked up. There's lots of satanic stuff in Goat Simulator.
What other demons with compound fractures climbing the walls rapidly towards you?
There might be. I haven't played the
Summoning
game. I wouldn't know.
Satan.
I like how he's just shooting crosses at them.
Crosses. Yep.
Yeah.
It's great.
All right, what other news do we got?
I always hate to go next because I'm always afraid I'm gonna steal someone's shit.
That's why people should come prepared with like a couple, so that at least one didn't get stolen.
I mean, I guess the first like one that I was kind of excited about, and this is actually, I wanted to start playing Overwatch last night because of this. We got introduced to the newest character for Overwatch, which is Ashe. She's basically McCree, but better.
Which is stolen name from League of Legends.
Yeah, straight up stole name from League of Legends.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that part.
And World of Warcraft.
But basically she's just McCree with a shotgun. I don't honestly.
And a lever action rifle.
Yeah, she has a lever action rifle, and her sawed-off shotgun, if shot at the ground, actually launches her in the air.
Yeah, I don't honestly feel like she's gonna be that compelling for gameplay, because I mean, I feel like Overwatch is fun, but I don't feel like any of the characters they've added recently are really all that. I mean, Hammond's cool. Moira was cool when she got released. But I'm excited because she seems cool and interesting. Oh my god!
I just love the prospect of a Mei wall going up and Ashe going, yeah, fuck that, and just hopping over it and blasting Mei in the face with her fucking rifle.
I mean, I just enjoy watching any Mei ever fucking just die.
There's a great gif of like a bunch of people hanging out in in a skirmy. A bunch of people hanging out, and Mei did an emo, and then a Hanzo arrow just goes right through her fucking head, and she just falls over and dies.
I fucking love it. Ugh.
I'm actually editing the Overwatch footy from when we played like a lifetime ago for the first time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I feel so stuffy, and I feel like it's really gross, and I'm sure all of you want to hear me sniffle like I can't breathe.
It's delicious.
I'm
VR
sure.
Alien Isolation, Until Dawn. When was this article written?
Oh, I'm still really pumped for that
Yeah.
fucking Until Dawn, like, I always forget the word, anthology that they're working on. Man of
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm
Medan or
I'm
whatever.
really excited for the anthology. I just feel like Until Dawn is a game you play once and then you don't have to play it again.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're Mark and then fuck yourself up, but that's fine. Whatever.
Oh yeah, and then Resident Evil 7's really good.
Yeah,
PT
Resident Evil 7.
just makes me sad.
Can we all just talk about the hype that is going to destroy Death Stranding?
I hope hype doesn't destroy Death Stranding because I'm
Let's
so
be
hyped
honest
for Death
here.
Stranding.
Like, let's be honest.
I
Like,
just hope it's weird.
there might be too much hype, guys. Like, I'm worried.
I guess
Like, what if
in steering clear of any news of it, I've also steered clear of a hype train because I'm just
Yeah, it's hyped up a lot right now. Like everyone's
really
like
is.
primed for this being the best game of this decade.
Which isn't to say that it doesn't deserve the hype. I'm just worried that, like, I'm just worried that we're gonna have a lot of people play this game and be like, oh, this wasn't nearly as good as I thought it was gonna be. Even though it's probably still gonna be like a fucking beautiful, like, beautifully made game.
But PT is sad because Kojima. So
Yeah.
what PT was gonna be is it was gonna be Kojima and Guillermo del Toro directing a Silent Hill game where Junji Ito was gonna be the art director.
Why does Konami hate money so much?
I don't
I
know.
don't know, man. That's a great question.
That is
That sounds like
I
the
could
best.
I could not think of a better lineup for a video game like a video game cast and crew for a Silent Hill game.
The only way it could be better is if it was programmed by that. Oh fuck, what's his name? The Mons. Oh, the guy who fixes. The guy who fixes. Um, the Unreal Engine.
Oh
He's like
yeah.
a world-class programmer. I forget his fucking name. He can fix anything.
Yeah, PT just makes me really sad.
Yeah, it was. It could have been great.
it's the kind of thing that you almost wish you never heard about, so you
Right?
can't
Yeah,
be
for
disappointed
sure.
by it.
Like, are y'all familiar with Junji Ito's work?
No.
He's this real fucked up
Well,
dude.
let me tell you, Austin, he writes manga, and this is some of the most horrifying fucked up manga you will ever read in your life.
That's true. Like, not even just kind of. It's like, this shit might leave you awake at night.
Yeah.
Looking into the dark, like, lifeless void.
If you want a crash course in Junji Ito, read his Uzumaki series. It is harrowing and Lovecraftian and absolutely horrifying.
If I ever feel like curling up into a ball.
Curling is a very important part of Uzumaki.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Dead Space is terrifying for sure.
For sure.
Layers of Fear is also really good. Silent Hill 2 is Silent Hill 2 is great.
I didn't find Layers of Fear to be that scary. Like I thought it was pretty scary. I thought it was like good for a horror game of its time, but I just feel like it's placed on a lot of lists really high up there, and there weren't that many really very scary moments for me.
I understand where you're coming from, but I disagree. And I guess I'll leave it at that. Because, I mean, I don't... It's weird, because I am, like... I don't feel like the game itself did anything, like... I don't really feel like the game was all that incredible, but I feel like what it did was just really great, and I feel like it was just... It did something really interesting with the game mechanics, and albeit it really wasn't all that, like, scary, and, like, a lot of the scares were jumpy. I don't know. I felt like it was a good game, and I felt like the way it told the story and the different ways you could tell the story was also super cool.
I never actually
So
played
the-
it myself, so I feel like it was more creepy than anything, and maybe that's the kind
Oh,
of
for
thing
sure.
that I would only get more right if I actually played it myself.
Silent Hill 2 is another one of those games where it's not necessarily terrifying or like super
Yeah.
scary, but the more you play it, the more twitchy and anxious you get, and it does. Silent Hill 2 does things to you that
Yeah.
most games can't, and
They're
that's like
eerie games. Eerie and creepy versus horror, like
yeah.
terrifying.
You
The-
have to
don't get me
play
wrong.
Silent Hill 2 on an original PlayStation 2 though.
Yeah, you gotta.
The HD remakes do not do it justice. No, none of our advanced technology, not even the PlayStation 4, Xbox, whatever, can perform transparency nearly as well as PlayStation 2.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but when they made the HD remake, it like broke a ton of parts of the game, and it ruins the atmosphere. But if you play on an original PlayStation 2, where all the graphics are kept the same, the more, like I said, the more you play it, you actually like anxiety builds and you get twitchy and nervous, and it leaves you with a really like gross feeling after you play it.
By the end
It's
of the game, it really fucks with you. Like, I don't feel like the game itself is particularly scary, but I think the thing that is the most unsettling about the game is just how much it really gets under your skin. Like, and I think that's what I really liked about Layers of Fear, because it was really just this fucked up concept of a dude who was just terrible to his wife. Um, and it's just the nuances of it and just the interactions and the things that you learn throughout like Silent Hill and Layers of Fear, they really just fuck you up, and they're really just these horrifying looks into human consciousness, and it's like, oh, this sucks. I hate all of this, and you just have to be there anyway. Like, I want to go home. No, you can't. You have to sit. You already signed the permission slip. You're going. I don't
so
want to.
one game that isn't on this list that I think should be is one that recently came out called Visage. It's just a demo right now. Dude, that game is
Oh my
fucking
god.
terrifying.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, and it just is terrifying.
It's not even done either. That's just like one part of one chapter of the game, and it's fucking scary.
I just, oh, I can't do it. It freaks me out.
Yeah, I didn't realize there was more released. I think I just saw like a 2 or 3 minute trailer. But this looks like an hour of actual gameplay. And Markiplier
for
had like
Visage?
2 hours of gameplay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Scary Game Squad had about 2.5 hours of gameplay.
Yeah, but it's also because they're retarded.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a lot of the game just because it's in early access right now. But fuck, what they have is amazing.
There's another game this reminds me of. I'm pulling it up.
Yeah, man, I feel you.
Good talk.
I'm trying to see. Why are they making a fucking... I don't know why I want to talk about this. I think it's just dumb. And I don't... I feel like if we were in a different time period, it'd be more, I don't know, cool, I guess. Fucking Overwatch is making Lucio's. It's a fucking breakfast cereal that they're gonna release.
I like that.
I think it's dumb.
I want some Lucios, even if they are just Applejacks, because Lucio looks like the Applejack mascot.
Yeah, he does. I also just fucking hate cereal. So I mean,
Cinnamon is the Winnaman.
it's the Winnemon. I like how near the end of the run of all those commercials, like, that mascot and the apple from the Apple Jacks, like, just, like, begrudgingly became friends. Like, yeah, alright, whatever. We're doing this together, I guess.
They were just
I haven't
like,
had
fuck it, apples and cinnamon.
I
Yeah,
haven't
alright,
had
I guess
Apple
we're doing
Jacks in a long time, and I really loved Apple Jacks.
Apple Jacks is pretty good. You know what cereal is the fucking worst? Oh yeah, this was another kind of creepy game that
Oh,
sorry, I happened to see a screen cap of it and I thought about it because I was thinking about the Super Best Friends. So that game Faith that they played, you were there when I watched that, weren't you?
yeah,
Yeah, that's creepy as fuck.
yeah.
Like, it's this stupid, and I don't really. It's just this really. It really isn't all that graphically interesting. It's a bunch of just tiny, like, bit sprites. It's got that fucking horrifying, just. How do I don't even know how to describe the voice. So, you know the voice that the Speak and Spell has? It's fucking that, but from your nightmares. It's
Horribly recorded and clippy, and the speaker can't produce it right.
And it sounds like a fucking demon. With everything. Like, all voice recorded sound and any kind of, like, interaction where there's just an audio response. It just sounds like the most horrific thing in the world. And I mean, the game itself is not all that compelling, but, like, the atmosphere and just how the game is, like, animated and just all of it together, it's just really unsettling.
Sorry, I missed what game is this?
Faith.
Huh? Faith?
Faith. Yeah, just Faith.
Okay. So yeah, I figured out what the game was earlier that I was trying to think of. It was called Blackout. It was called something else originally, and then like a new studio took over development, and now I just can't find it anymore because now it's called Blackout. And since the Call of Duty Blackout mode came out, literally everything
Yep.
related to a video game called Blackout takes me back to that. So yeah, that game might just never come out now. Now that nobody can find
You
it.
could always just do you always search up Blackout video game and then hit minus and then do Call of Duty. So
Yeah, I tried that.
it'll get rid of any article that says Call of Duty in it.
I tried that. It's still just everything Call of Duty.
Wow.
Is that the game that had a
Pretty
bunch
sad.
of bullet casings on it? On the cover?
A bunch of bullet what?
Bullet casing.
I don't think I ever
Shells.
saw like a cover to the game. It was always like really early development, but I just remember it was super realistic.
I think that was just another one called Black, though.
Yeah, I think that's what
Oh,
that was.
I think I know what game you're talking about, Anna. I think my dad had that game.
Huh. Yeah, if I can remember what it was called before, then I'll send you guys like the link to the video.
Yeah, man, for sure. I'm trying to think if there were any other real spooky games recently that Ian and I were like, damn.
Miles and I are watching the
All the shows fall out.
gameplay footage of the Visage gameplay. Without the music, it's just super slow loading up a gun. It's been like 2 minutes of this guy loading a fucking gun.
Yeah, man.
Oh, it gets worse. Oh, it gets so much worse.
Yeah, it does. It really fucking does. Y'all are about to get fucked real hard.
I'm not ruining it by watching it on mute.
No, not really.
Not
Well,
really.
you kind of are. You kind of are.
Like, I mean, you're missing something that will definitely fuck with you more.
Yeah, I feel like the sounds are an essential part of a horror thing. I feel like there should be more brain sploosh.
I mean, it's also dark.
He's like,
I did it.
Ah,
Did the thing I was supposed to do.
See, what
The
you don't
force
hear
knew
are
I
the
was gonna do
horrifying
3 months
cries
ago.
of the children that are there.
Oh,
yeah.
well, that's fine.
Oh.
They're just getting a quick education.
Oh no. Oh no.
I
It's
think
not.
that's definitely what they're getting. This guy's got a pretty bad limp. I don't think he should be going through this door. I think he should, like, take a seat and try and recover. Get all his marbles back in the bag. Oh,
All right,
no, his lip
what
is
else
fine.
news? Anna had stuff.
I also
Yes,
have
I do.
news.
Yeah. We all gotta go.
Well, if you want to go first.
Nope, by all means, you go first.
Nope, by
Are you
all
sure? 'Cause
means,
I
you
have a
go
lot of
first.
news. I have a lot of news because most of my news gets taken anyway.
It's true. All right, let's hear it.
Warcraft 3, the remake was announced.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
I'm super excited for that
I
because
love that game.
apparently they're adding new content.
What?
They're on top of the old DLCs that will be releasing with the game. There will be also new content. Apparently, there's exclusive stuff for like the first month. So I'm really pumped about that.
Me too, man.
Um,
I
did
loved Warcraft 3.
yeah.
Oh boy, I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Everybody get pumped.
I still have my Warcraft 3 copy over here on this bookshelf with the Frozen Throne as well.
Ian's excited.
Ian's super
Apparently,
excited.
the Frozen Throne will be in there as well.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
They're
wait,
so
wait.
fucking tiny.
What else I got?
Yeah, because it
Did
doesn't seem anyone else
anybody?
as excited as I am.
You don't sound very
No, I'm
excited.
super excited.
I
Did
don't.
anybody by any chance see the
Fuck that
opening
cat.
ceremony for the League of Legends finals?
No, I did not.
Holy shit, it was so hype. And they had fucking Kata come out and Rise and a bunch of other people. It was so fucking hype.
Hypest it's ever been.
This is the hypest it's ever been, considering League of Legends is fucking garbage.
Hype sandwich. Some hype and jam sandwich.
Hype and jam. That sounds like
Jam
hype and jam, and
store.
I'm really not a fan of that.
What's that?
Even though I despise the game, the opening ceremony and like the first couple matches were super fucking exciting. But my last bit of news is Diablo Immortal for all of us Diablo fans to cry over. It
Yeah,
will only
I
be
see.
a mobile game.
Yeah, I see everyone's hating it super hard. And also, this is fucked up. The video had 344,000 dislikes on it. Apparently, Blizzard paid Google to literally take some of those dislikes away because now it only has 244,000 dislikes on it.
Brutal.
Money can literally make your problems disappear.
Yeah, everyone's really pissed about that.
I never really played the Diablo games.
Me neither.
I had some good friends that really liked Diablo 3 though.
We should all play if we can.
on Switch.
Diablo
it's a
3 was
good.
okay. Like, compared to Diablo 2, it was kind of a disappointment, but
Austin, you remember Baldur's Gate?
Chia.
It's like that.
Good shit. Dude, that was impressive.
Did you know that if you throw light bulbs at sockets, that the light goes into the socket and turns on?
no.
You don't even need to throw it facing the right direction. Just throw it upside down.
Just kind of float it towards the socket.
I mean, well, that part I felt was obvious.
So as you can tell from all of these Blizzard-themed news, BlizzCon is going on right now.
Yeah, BlizzCon's super going on.
Yeah.
Well, my news is gonna stray away from all of that.
Oh, now I'm intrigued.
My last bit of news that I want to talk about really quick is the Luigi's Mansion remake for 3DS.
Yeah,
That's fucking co-op. That's awesome.
it's super awesome.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
Hello.
Yeah, that's fucking dope.
Excuse me?
Is it like, so it's a remake exactly of the first game except with co-op?
It's like not an exact remake, but it's like the same mansion, like the same ghosts and stuff like that. And
there's
it's
a
and it's
Luigi's
like
Mansion
Luigi
3DS
and like
game.
a ghost Luigi.
So is this a new game though?
I think it just came out really recently.
Yeah, I just checked the back of the cover on the original game, and it's definitely only a one-player game. That's pretty fucking cool.
And that was all. I have one more, but it's more of a check out this fucking crazy shit.
Check this fucking shit out.
Dimitri, there's some fucked up shit happening. Help!
Oh man, Yuri's sister is so hot though. Have you seen any of the character creation in New Soul Calibur? That's the last bit
Oh
of news.
my
Yes.
god, yeah. I saw a lizard man Volvo with a huge fucking 3 Pringle can sized dick. Yeah.
And that's literally what it is. Like, there's no other way he could have said that.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah, Soul
Fuck,
Calibur
okay.
6 character creation
They're
is,
finally listening to the fans.
oh my god, it's, oh.
Is it also blue?
It's
I
so
hope it's
dumb.
blue.
Coco, that's my arm.
Oh. It keeps it. Insidious Ray. I'm good.
I was gonna look something up and I forgot what it was, and now I'm super bothered by it.
Oh,
It's like 2 minutes ago.
So guys,
what's that?
who around in the early 2000s played RuneScape?
I
played it for a
did.
minute.
Classic RuneScape.
Right? Old school RuneScape. Well,
Chia.
I've been waiting, and it was finally released pretty recently for iOS, but you can play old school RuneScape on your fucking phone, just like the good old days.
Oh
That's
man.
great.
And I've been, like, losing sleep doing that, so...
Gotta get them stats up.
Bro,
Yeah.
I was fishing, I was net fishing for the longest time, and then I could finally use my regular fishing rod, and now I can use my fly fishing rod, get my archery up, get my cooking up, and it feels so good.
Oh man. I remember when I got my fucking lumberjacking up to yew trees, I was fucking stoked.
Yeah. I want a 99 cooking skill cape. I want to be walking around with a chef's hat and a cape and nothing else. Just be like, I am Master Chef.
How is the what is it, the Grand Exchange? That big fucking open market that they had?
Yeah.
How's that doing? How's the economy in that?
It's going smooth.
A,
Yeah,
YouTube,
I
a
think.
YouTuber I watch
So,
crashed that a few years ago.
really?
Oh, I love
Yeah.
Yeah, it's they made the worlds like switching between worlds a lot easier and like more convenient. So like whatever worlds that you're switching between, I think it's like more of a cloud feature than an online feature because I can switch between worlds like in a matter of seconds and it'll fill with like new players. If there's too many people and it starts getting laggy, I'll just switch to another world in like 3 seconds. And then it's like, you know, it's a whole new thing.
And is it just the free member world that's open, or is the member part of the world open too, or do you still have to pay to be a member?
You still have to pay to be a member.
That's hilarious. Oh my god.
Yeah. It's one thing that is cool though is they have hella promos. So like I've done like 5 different quests that have given me like credits towards my membership. If I wanted to have like do my member trial. But like honestly, I would be interested in doing that after I have all of the free content completed. Because I'm only like a level 37 or something. So I still have a ways to go and a lot of free content to do
Yeah.
before.
When I stopped playing, I was level 78 or something like that.
Yeah. I definitely, had other accounts through time, but this is the last one I had before I stopped playing. And it's just hella fun. Like, it's really fucking fun.
It's
Yeah.
crazy to see those animations again.
I just got my level 30 archery and level 30 defense.
Fuck, it's been so long since I've thought about that.
Right? Yeah, it's weird.
Oh, wow.
But, my little brother Eric is level 60 something, and he just did like some crazy ass quest that I was like, wow, here I am having fun, and he's like actually doing some adult shit.
He's actually changing the world.
He's like attacking like level 82 ogres in some dungeon. And I'm having trouble with like town guards level 21. But yeah, other than RuneScape, I haven't really. I mean, the gold games that Austin talked about for Xbox, that's probably the craziest news for the likes of me, because I don't have a computer or a PS4. But, yeah, like, that's finally some good news on Microsoft's end.
Huh. All right. Well, what have we been playing this week?
Long
Not
pause.
everyone all at once.
I'll start since I'm still in the talking mood.
Yeah.
So I've been doing my same kind of New Vegas playthrough.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't know if I told you guys last time, but I experienced for the first time, maybe I experienced it before, but just never had troubleshooted this problem. But after I did like a bunch of heavy quest line stuff in New Vegas, I saved and then tried to come back to the save, and it was the infinite loading screen. And
no.
I could not figure out how to get into any of my saves. Every save was corrupted that way. And so
Oh
I
my God.
scoured the internet trying to find stuff, and finally I found something on YouTube where this guy's like super chill. I'm sure he was stoned while he was explaining it. He was just like, yeah, so, I was like, is my game broke? Like, what's going on? So, like, I'm just gonna start a new game, because whatever. And so I started a new game, got the first autosave, and then as soon as you get that autosave, you can just load your last save into the other game. And I was like, wow, okay. And so I did that and was able to, like, get back in action with New Vegas. So that's cool.
That's a, that's so fucked up. I don't. That's such an oversight by Bethesda.
Right, it really is, but it's such a it's my favorite Bethesda game. Like it is. It's despite all of its quirks and shit, like that's my favorite Bethesda game to play. So I'm happy to be to have all my stuff back. Um, but yeah, other than that, I renewed my Realm on Xbox One Edition Minecraft, and I started making or recording Minecraft videos because I hadn't done that before. But now that I have more of a plan for what I want to do and like things written out for projects and whatnot, it's actually fun to record Minecraft when you're not fucking around the whole time.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, lots of RuneScape. Um, you can go over on Austin's channel and see some new Super Mario Bros. That we did, which is fucking tight.
Indeed.
And some other retro games that I'll let him get into more. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess on that note, I'll just go next, I guess. The aforementioned New Super Mario Bros. Miles and I played like 15 minutes of that. And then also Mario Kart 64. Kind of trying to just prioritize games that we can only play like offline when we're actually in the same room, or games whose servers might shut down soon. And me personally, I've also been playing a little bit of like Professor Layton on the side. Just not chugging along through that game. And
How's your hand?
They're getting like better week by week. I'm not gaming at all this weekend though, because I think I pushed myself a bit too hard last weekend. And yeah, trying to kind of wean off, but yeah, it's nice to be able to like game just a little bit and not think about it. Last weekend I also played a little bit of like Forza Horizon 4 as well. I renewed like Game Pass for 2 free weeks, so this looks pretty crazy.
Sounds eventful.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just played
There's a good variety of
games.
for
Yeah,
both of you.
Indeed.
Real quick side note: when speaking of medical conditions, I found out I have one.
Oh my god.
I'm allergic to heat.
Yeah.
To heat?
Yep.
So
warmth.
I have urticaria, which means hives. My body breaks out in hives when a specific trigger occurs. Found out my trigger is when my body temperature raises. So if I take a shower, if I do physical activities, if I'm cooking for too long and I'm exposed to too much heat, if I eat spicy food, anything that raises my internal body temperature by like 2 degrees will make my whole upper body break out in stinging, itching, painful hives.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's only been a thing since I moved to Utah.
So you're basically allergic to the sun.
Not the sun. I can be out in the sun, no
The
problem.
sun's
But as
warm.
soon as the sun heats my internal body temperature, or anything heats my internal body temperature, I break out in hives.
That's fucked.
Super.
What if when you're starting to get hot, you tell yourself that you're gonna get hives any second and just don't?
That's effective.
So,
yeah, Ian, why don't you just do that?
I actually tried that just to see if it's a mind over matter thing, and because I can always feel when they're about to happen, because my body immediately gets slightly uncomfortable with the heat. I'm like, and then my hands start are the first ones that start, like between my knuckles start stinging, and I'm like, oh, it's coming. So if I know that's happening, I'm like, all right, what if I can just focus on not?
Just
That made it
blow
worse.
on the
That made
affected
it
area.
so much worse.
Just jump in
Because
ice water.
There you go.
That's
You need to have a
no.
constant bath of ice water ready to go to accommodate.
So I'm
Yeah,
not
just-
kidding. That's the best thing. I broke out into hives when I was cooking for myself. So I just literally took an ice cube and rubbed it over my arms, and oh, it felt amazing.
Hmm.
And I switched my soap to just peppermint soap, so the menthol gets into my skin. Oh, it's great. That stuff feels great. But yeah, I am allergic to heat. I went to a dermatologist. They diagnosed me. They said this sometimes this happens, and sometimes it happens for about 6 months and then just goes away. No one knows why. It just happens. But if it continues to happen for over 6 months, come in and you will be diagnosed with chronic urticaria, which means it's never going to go away. And basically, I have to take cetirizine hydrochloride, which is just Zyrtec, multiple times a day to fight the histamines that cause the hives off. So yeah, little
Yeah,
side note
no
there.
thanks.
That's some shucked up fit, dude.
Yeah, man. Real fucked.
Cement. Miles cement. Oh,
All right.
basement. Basement.
There's
I
a lot
will.
of semen
I
in
will
the
go.
basement.
So, in
Ah.
this 3 week period, I was playing Monster Hunter, and I think I'm done with Monster Hunter for a while.
Oh shit.
Yep.
It's
Why's
just
that?
it's decoration grinding and fighting tempered elder dragons. It's just fucking ridiculous. Every single elder dragon has a tempered elder dragon that no matter how much health you have, no matter how much defense you have, it will one shot you if you don't block it right. If you don't block it or dodge it right. But all of those attacks are also utter bullshit. Bal Hazak has like a gazer beam that he does. There's a huge wind up to it, and it's fine. That one's easy to dodge. That one's fine. It's all of the other stuff that comes with Bal Hazak that makes it infuriating. Teostra has a fucking like self explosion that you can either stall by doing enough damage to him or flat spotting him in the face. But if you're close to him, if you're within like I think 30 meters of him, you're fucking dead, no matter what. If that goes off. Nurhagante has a big old dive bomb that has a hitbox that's the size of the arena that you're in. And any part of it, if any of it hits you, it's a one-shot kill. And then Kushala Deora has a huge wind, like blast thing that is like a 180-degree cone that's in front of him, and it's really fast too. And if that hits you, you're dead. So it's cheap bullshit that's making the game more difficult than it is fun. So when I got the job at GameStop, I said I was getting one game. So I got the first game at the top of my list of games to play, and that was MGS5.
Fuck yeah.
So I've been playing Metal Gear Solid 5. I've maxed out Bond with D-Dog. I've maxed out Bond with Quiet. I'm running Silent Sniper Rifle, Silent Assault Rifle, Silent Sleep Pistol, Stun Arm with a bunch of grenades and mines and whatnot. And
No love for Deho?
Huh?
No love for Deho?
No, man. D-Ho is nothing. He does nothing. You just write him. That's
Deho's
it.
the game winner, the game changer. What are you talking about?
No. And fuck D-Walker.
You can be running along at full sprint and then just lean to the side and slip by 100 baddies. All with Deho.
I'd rather kill those 100 baddies. My game completion rate is at like 26% or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking love
So
that
I'm
game.
only on chapter like 19 right now. I just did the mission where you save the bunch of kids from the mine. That was a really good mission. I really enjoyed that one. It kind of sucked that there was a gunship that fucked me over like 4 times in a row, and boss is a fucking idiot sometimes and does not do what you tell him.
How so? I don't usually have that problem with that game.
Last night I got in the chopper to use the Gatling gun to take down the gunship, and boss just kept switching between the two sides of the chopper, and he would never grab the Gatling gun. Every time I pressed triangle, he would switch to the other side. I'm like, what is going on? What the fuck is happening? And then it took off, and I was like, well, I just failed the mission, so I'm gonna fucking restart a checkpoint.
Huh.
He can't walk up a 2-foot slope without sliding down.
Oh, yeah, that
Like,
does happen.
That
does happen.
so bullshit. Like, how does he even survive out in the wilderness if he can't fucking do that?
Listen, Ian, survivability doesn't involve walking up 2 feet inclines. It just doesn't.
If there's a 20-foot drop, if there's a 20-foot drop, it kills boss.
Yep.
But if there's a 19-foot drop and someone's on your shoulders, you're totally fine.
He's an old man. He's got roughed up knees. His knees aren't like they used to be.
And last night was particularly egregious. I've been using this loadout with a sniper rifle with a suppressor the entire time. I went on a side up and I went to use my sniper rifle, and the suppressor was on the little like thumbnail for what weapon was on. The suppressor was visibly on my sniper rifle on my character model, but when I shot it, it made a normal gun noise, and my suppressor like life meter wasn't there.
Wow, what?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, you're having all sorts of weird problems I never encountered.
So it was very frustrating last night because like and there was a dude that was just floating in the middle of a base as well. Maybe something fucked up happened with the game last night because there was like 5 solid glitches that shouldn't have been happening.
Huh. Wait a second, wasn't MGS5 a free game at some point?
It was back in December of 2017. And I should have got it then, but I didn't because I'm dumb.
Yeah,
Maybe it was
a
free game on Xbox at some point. I could have sworn it was a free game sooner than that.
But after I'm done with this, I'm probably going to go to Witcher 3. Then after Witcher 3 is probably going to be... What did I have after Witcher 3? I think it was Nier Automata. I'm going to do Nier Automata. After Nier Automata, I'm going to probably... I don't know. Divinity, the Original Sin 2 is definitely on there.
It was an Xbox game. It was free back in May on Xbox.
Yeah, it was free in December of 2017 for PSN. But that's what I've been playing. I've been playing... I played Monster Hunter, and then I've been mainly playing MGS5.
Cool beans.
I jumped back into Kingdom Hearts for a minute, and something that I'm remembering about the games, and that I kind of went on a tirade about last night, is Kingdom Hearts, especially 1. I feel like in 2 they kind of deal with it a little bit better. Kingdom Hearts 1, they feel like if they make the boss battles a lot longer, it makes it more difficult, and it doesn't. It just makes me not want to play it ever again after I have to spend another 20 minutes to get to the same place with this boss. And I fucking hate it. But that's really all I have to say. That's really all I've been playing.
I've been thinking about playing Kingdom Hearts 1 for my first time with Miles' copy.
So basically, the way bosses in Kingdom Hearts 1 work is they have a bunch of really ridiculous abilities, but one very obvious window in between them casting the abilities. So you wait for them to do these bullshit things, you hit them once, and then you run away.
Well, so but that's not. It's not universal. So they're really Kingdom Hearts, for what they feel like should be a really big boss, will do that. Like, so for the most part, like, it's really not a thing. Like, with the first couple bosses you run into, it's like you have to be patient. You can't just fucking barrel in and just beat the shit out of this. You have to be strategic. The first fight that the first boss fight you get to that is really just a battle of attrition is fucking Ursula. And I hate this cunt with a stupid burning passion. I hate her so much. And it's not because she's difficult. It's because it truly has to be, at the very least, like a 20-minute fight. And it's because there's only certain windows you can hit her from. And almost every attack she does is just a massive, just fucking entire map AoE attack. There's nothing you can do. You just have to fucking run to the very edge of the map, hope that this doesn't hit you, and then swim back, hit her once, and swim back. Like, that's all you can do. And even with magic, if you try to use that, since that's basically your only other distance, like, attack, you still fucking don't hit much on her. And then you still have to go up to her to recharge your magic. It fucking sucks, because it doesn't make her difficult, it makes her agonizing. And so you have to just keep hitting her and hope to God you don't fuck up at some point, so that you have to restart your 20-minute timer over. I'm not bitter at all. I was playing, I got to Maleficent, and she's really the only other boss you run into where it's a huge problem. Because it's not that Maleficent is difficult. Maleficent is not difficult. But she has attacks that just are the entire arena. And you just have to stand off to the side and let her do them. But the problem is they will just spam these attacks. And there's nothing you can do to speed it up. And I mean, you can try to absorb the attacks, but most of them are almost half your health every single time. So you can't necessarily just try to take both of attacks, because then you just die, and then you have to restart your timer. And it's not that she's difficult, that I hate her. I hate her because she's stupid, and there's no reason for her boss fight. Either one, because she has two, neither of them have to be 20 minutes, but they fucking are. And the moment that I make just one simple mistake and have to restart, it's another 20 minutes I have to commit just to getting to the same point. Because you think for a second that if I just have to keep doing this for 20 minutes, it's going to make the fight hard. It's not hard, it's irritating. Square Enix, what were you doing?
Earning your love for the game.
Yeah, they fit, like, again, it's not really so much of an issue in Kingdom Hearts 2. There are definitely, like, there are fights that purposely are like, oh no, you have to do this before you can continue the fight. I'm like, alright, this is dumb, but whatever. But it doesn't purposely, like, make it so the boss, like, it's a time trial more than anything. It doesn't make it so you have to go through a certain amount of time before you can beat the boss. And I think that's why I hate those fights the most, because it doesn't test my skill, it just tests my patience. And, like, I don't have great patience, especially when you're pulling stupid bullshit like this, where 9 times out of 10, the only attack you're going to use is one that just fucking is the entire map. That's it. Like, I can kind of dodge it, but I, for the most part, just have to take the attack and hope to God you don't do it again. Oh, you're going to do it again. Fucking great. Stupid whore. I hate her. I hate Maleficent and I hate Ursula. Like, they're not, like, I hate them. I hate them so much. Like, even in the games after this. Like, they show up and I hate them.
In Ursula's first fight, you have to wait for that stupid cauldron to start boiling before you can even start attacking her.
Yeah, and, like, yeah, that fight that's painful, but, like, it's not, like, if you really keep at it, it's really not a long boss fight. But once you get to fucking Mega Ursula, it easily has to be a 20-minute fight. It has to be. You can't just mash on her. There's no way. You can't. Like, she has those close range attacks that just fucking get every square inch around her head. And then she has those big fuck off attacks that are just the entire arena that you're in. Like, they purposely make it so you can't just fucking hit her the entire time, which I get. but they also purposely make it so the fight is super long for no other reason other than to just piss you off. And that's it. And I hate those kinds of fights. Because it's not that I'm not good enough, it's that you're just being a jackass and you want to make this a really long ordeal. Because you think it'll make me feel better by the end of it, and it doesn't. It just makes me never want to fucking come back to Atlantica, or it makes me never want to come back to Hollow Bastion. And guess what? Hollow Bastion is great, but fuck you, Maleficent, you ruined it.
Yeah, that makes me not want to play those games.
No, and it sucks, because really it's only 2 fights. There's really only 2 boss fights that do it, but it's so painful. It's because it has to be as long as it is. There's nothing you can do to just brute force your way into trying to take the attacks. Like, even if you try to, like, bump up all your health and defense and shit, like, none of those fights are built for you to just take the attacks and just keep smashing on it to keep the fight going. It's purposely made so you have to wait. And it's like, why? You could have done something so much better, and this could have been a compelling boss. But no, instead you just make it so that they have really garbage attacks that hit you basically at any point in the map. And I have to wait 20 minutes before I can actually get to a point where I can almost beat the boss. No matter what. I can't just rush through it. I have to wait by your terms when you think it's okay for the boss fight to be where it's at. I hate it. Fucking hate it. But those are the only 2 boss fights that does it. And then in the second game, it really doesn't happen. The first game couldn't be perfect. So, I mean, they had to have some stupid bullshit, I guess. Again, though, I'm not bitter.
Alright, well, not to cut your rage train short, but
No, you're good.
I do want to like kind of start to wrap up here. So we might not have grounds to cover every topic, but is there any other things that you guys want to make sure we cover?
Haley and I started watching a show on Hulu called Castle Rock.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's basically, imagine if because all the Stephen King stories take place in Maine, pretty much. Imagine if all those stories actually happened in the same universe, and that's what this show's about.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
On Hulu, you say?
Yeah,
Yep.
on Hulu. It's a Hulu original. Other than that, we watched Monty Python's Life of Brian, which is fucking hilarious. That movie's so fucking funny. We watched a cooking show called a cooking movie with Bradley Cooper called Burnt. That was really, really good. Really enjoyed that movie. We watched Boondock Saints, which I really love that movie too. And we watched some of the show, which is Monty Python's Best Bits, which is a bunch of comedians talking about how Monty Python inspired them and their favorite shorts from the Monty Python and the Flying Circus show.
Very cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Miles and I just recently watched a movie that he's been like wanted to show me since basically we moved in together called Whiplash.
The one about the guy on the drums and the jazz band.
Mm-hmm. And,
yeah, I haven't seen it.
Really?
I want to though. Yeah, I really wanted to see it, but I have no way of seeing it.
Huh. Yeah, I thought for sure you would have, but yeah, it was pretty fucking great. That's for sure. The J. Jonah Jameson character definitely.
That's just his name now.
What?
That's just that actor's name now.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know his actual
name.
I only know him as from the Spider-Man role. Yeah, he fucking made the movie for sure. Yeah, it was a great little quick watch. It was only like an hour and a half, and it's good shit. I want to mention right now. I just saw like a Red Dead 2 thumbnail that reminded me that IGN gave Red Dead 2 a perfect 10.
Yep, it's gonna be game of the year.
Yeah, oh for sure. So it's definitely turned my eye, but I'm in no rush to play it. but
Yeah, I'm thinking about picking it up. Only problem is, and you should know this too, if you want to get it, it's a 150 gigabyte file.
damn. Yeah, that's
So
what
get a
Miles was
second
saying.
drive. Get a second drive or make room.
Yeah, it's becoming a bigger and bigger obstacle on consoles as these games become just too fucking big. Like how many Red Dead 2's size games can you have on your console before?
2.
Yeah, right. It's
Really, one.
not very many.
Final Fantasy 15 was about 130 gigabytes total. Sorry, Final Fantasy 15. Yeah, Final Fantasy 15 was 130 gigabytes total. With all the DLCs and all that stuff.
I would not have expected.
It was a big one.
All right, cool beans. Any final topics anybody wants to bring up?
Miles, listen to Closure. Listen to Closure in Moscow.
Okay, Closure in Moscow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
2 songs and yeah. Well, I've already told Anna and you, Austin, about this as well, and Haley already listens to it with me. Their most recent album, Pink Lemonade, the whole album is awesome. Their other albums before that there are like standout songs, but they're not amazing. So like, there's one song called "A Night at the Spleen." It's really good, really fucking good song. But I will say definitively that their album Pink Lemonade, the whole album, is a really good album.
Okay. Will do.
Oh, and Unknown Mortal Orchestra released an instrumental album called Hanoi 6 last week.
Cool beans.
Yep, I think that's all for me. Other
Yeah.
than that,
I gotta get going.
yeah, I will be on PSN later today.
Cool. All right.
I will be on Xbox Live later today.
For
And
anyone who
nothing
wants
else.
to join if they can.
Yeah, where none of us will be. All right. Sounds good.
All
I'll
right,
see you
folks.
guys later.
All right,
All
homies.
right.
Hasta la
Bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Pasta.
Bye-bye.